Hey folks, Odd here with a quick Asteroid possible ELE update. Just got a few things I want to go over with you guys here that may prove this factual, or if you guys want to say it could debunk it, it's up to you guys. You guys be the judge. Like always, you know, I'm just providing information, you know, just in case something happens. You know, I'm not like the news where I'm gonna have to listen to the government to tell me what to do, or make sure everything's factual before I release information. You know, I'm getting information now about this possible event, and as we all know, the guy that warned us before, and there was a 7.4 earthquake in Tonga, said that there was going to be a huge 8.3, or not, he didn't say 8.3, but there was going to be a massive plate fracture, you know, in the Pacific, and even possibly California. He said there was going to be an earthquake in California. He said a major earthquake would happen within 5 hours. Well, it did, in Kamchatsky, Russia. And then followed by Kamchatsky, Russia's 8.3 earthquake, California got hit with the 5.7. Now, the reason why I'm taking this seriously is because his predictions were accurate. Okay, and if you watch this video here, I'll just show you a clip. I hate to say it, but that little object that was down there, if you actually take a look at this, it's too bright to be a moon. The brightness factor of the asteroid is up here. But why is this so bright? Like he said, this is a solar sail. Do you see what I'm saying? If you guys want to go ahead and look into this, it's a very interesting article. It says, when astronomers analyze radar readings to create their first maps of 1998 QE2, the big asteroid that's due to sail past Earth Friday, they were surprised to find that it has a moon twice as big as an ocean liner. 1998 QE2 itself is way bigger. The latest readings from NASA's Deep Space Network antenna in Goldstone, California are consistent with earlier estimates that the asteroid is about 1.7 miles, 2.7 kilometers wide, but the moon is hefty as well. Astronomers estimate its diameter as 200 feet, 600 meters. That's big enough to wipe out an entire wipe out an area of the size of Virginia. Now, let alone, we have never really witnessed a full-on asteroidal impact here on Earth, okay, that we can record. So we really don't know the amount of impact that this would cause or the type of devastation it will cause. It's only hearsay theory. You know, maybe a 15-mile wide asteroid or something like that won't be an extinction level event. We really don't know, you know. We've never really had it happen before. I mean, the only thing we've ever witnessed of an impact was the moon and Jupiter with Comet Levy, or, you know, Leonid Levy. Can't remember the name of that comet, but just so much going on my mind right now, and it's on the tip of my daggone tongue. But anyway, you guys can go ahead and correct me in the box below. So probably need a refresher because I'm having a huge brain fart right now. But Shoemaker Levy, there it is, Comet Shoemaker Levy. Okay. And what it did to Jupiter. Now remember, Jupiter's size compared to the comet, compared to how much energy Jupiter puts out because of its gigantic size. So remember those things, those factors. Now it says, fortunately, neither space rock will come any closer than 3.6 million miles, 5.8 million kilometers, or about 15 times the distance between Earth and the Moon, blah, 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 blah. It says, gives astronomers a rare opportunity to see an asteroid close up. Now, they're talking about this asteroid. And you know why? Think about this. The last time they talked about an asteroid was DA-14. They did talk about asteroid or 2013 EC or ET, I can't remember which one, and we had fireball events that day. They also talked about asteroid DA14. And it's funny because look how great of an image we got from NASA for this. But all we got was a little piece of light moving like this across the sky for DA14. Why? Because NASA doesn't want to tell you that their calculations of orbital diagrams of these objects are infallible. They don't want you to worry nor to be scared that something is going to happen. Because I think we all logically know the odds of a meteor, a giant meteor, coming into Russia on February 15th, the same exact time frame that asteroid DA14 was making its close approach. I think we all know that DA14 was the Russian meteor. NASA's not going to tell you that. They're like, oh, we just need to make something up real quick. Because if they did, nobody would trust them. Nobody's going to believe in them. And they have to have a cover-up for this. If an asteroid's coming in 3 weeks, pray. And since they have all these tools that they say that they can possibly do things with, and a good friend of mine on YouTube, or on my Facebook, and he's a subscriber, made a very great point. None of them have been tested. Then you have NASA talking about lassoing an object. Put it around our moon to study it. Use it as a satellite to get for an easier approach to Mars. Remember when they bombed the moon and all that good stuff? Well, here you go. Quantitative easing. And I'm pretty sure you guys have watched Thor News' video. This one right here. Quantitative easing. Well, I'll get back to that in a minute. QE is an unconventional monetary policy used by central banks to stimulate the national economy when standard monetary policy has become ineffective. A central bank implements quantitative easing by buying financial assets from commercial banks and other private institutions, thus increasing the monetary base. This is distinguished from the more usual policy of buying or selling government bonds in order to keep market interest rates at a specific targeted level. Now you guys can go ahead and read more into this if you guys want to understand about hyperinflation and quantitative easing and global financial crisis and how this may solve their problems. And then on their video it talks about the Bank of America murals. He's talking about Obama, Hillary Clinton, all that stuff, and the people digging. You got the EQ sign in the background, flip it around, means quantitative easing, with a guy sleeping on a mountain, then a little Nazi kid, and he also calls him Little Debbie Snack Cake Kid. Then a whole big fiery sex theme coming out of the sky with like Jesus on a cross, military dude carrying him, and then like a dude in the background about to get shot, nuns and popes and all kinds of weird stuff. And this is in Bank of America's corporate office. Then he also talks about, Denver, Colorado airports and says this is some creepy times we're living in, folks. It's true, man. These people are sick. And then also this is very interesting. The government rag. Mayday, mayday, special report. Says the government rag is posting reported military, FEMA, DHS, TSA activities taking place in America and how explosives are being mobilized through military convoys around the country. Mayday, no joke. Are they preparing for a major catastrophic event? Are they going to blow some stuff up since the announcement from Janet Napolitano that the lone terrorists are on the loose? Let me guess, is the lone terrorist us? Or is it these asteroids coming our way? Those the lone terrorists? Is this participation or preparation for World War III? Is the New Madrid fault going to blow? Is Planet X coming? Is it just a drill? We could ask questions all day, but the fact is military is mobilizing from the inside out without telling the citizens why it's really happening. Is this the beginning of order out of chaos coming to America? Mainstream blackout? Citizens are concerned about the media blackout on the military mobilizing throughout the country. Other eyewitnesses say some military vehicles are not marked and do not have any identification or U.S. military or otherwise. So you guys can read into this, because all this military movement, jets flying over people's houses, Black Hawk helicopters, all these fireballs coming in, you know, people all over the place warning us now about some type of global coastal event, tsunami warnings, Atlantic, you know, Pacific, like huge 9.0 plus earthquakes, Farsight Institute, remote viewers also, you know, fireball coming in, you know, and then there's 4 big loud booms over my house in the past week from fireballs coming in, and then you have just that one day 4 fireball reports across the country and an impact in Mexico. 2 houses hit in Connecticut in less than a week, and also in that same week, a meteor hit the ground in Africa with a whole bunch of people surrounding it. I mean, it's grown out of control. I mean, look at this. 94 reports and going on. Texas, Kentucky, California, you know, Missouri, Ohio, a lot in Ohio and Kentucky, and West Virginia. You know, and I thought I heard another boom out here as well. PA. You know, VA, and I know I just seen something from West Virginia. I'm going to put my report up too, but if you don't see it, can't really put it up. They asked way too many damn questions. Also here, asteroid moon discovered. Radar images of approaching asteroid 1998 QE2 shows that it is a binary system. What do they mean by binary system? I think we all know, you know, 2 objects. Some people might say binary star. No, it's just it's got a moon to it. But honestly, I think it has a lot of trash following it. And we all know in that image that's a solar sail. You can just tell by the lighting, the light setting. The 2.7 kilometer wide, blah 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 blah, as they keep raising its size. Now, this shows you the magnificent size of Pan-STARR's tail. But this is what I wanted to get into. A person on my on the last video I put up had a very, very great point here. This coronal hole stream is going to become geo-effective early today. Pretty much already is about to. And this can change the course of QE2 and its supposed moon. And any other objects following this giant coronal hole. Then you had that scientist talking about this coronal hole. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? So while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and show you solar data. We just had a C flare pop off, and we are still currently in an electromagnetic storm as the blue has came back. Also, earthquakes. 4.5 in Vanuatu, and a rare 4.2 now in the Dominican Republic. 4.6 Iran, 4.6 Indonesia, Afghanistan 4.3, and so on and so forth. California is still rocking and rolling. I'm going to go here to RSOE. If it wants to load. Now, as for on here, it's not really showing, it's just showing a 3-pointer next to the Dominican Republic. You know, you got Jamaica and Haiti and all this stuff around here, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. Now, if I go ahead and I drag this up here real quick, Oklahoma had a quake. Arkansas had a quake. 2.7 Oklahoma. Why isn't that showing up on USGS maps? Arkansas 1.7. Anything 2.5 or higher in the US shows up USGS. Utah 1.3. Also, another 1.8 up here in Idaho. 2.2. Look at all these quakes in Nevada too now. So there we go, folks. Something to keep an eye on. You know, just a lot of stuff going off. You know, even here on ANF showing stuff, and over here, of course, nothing's gonna load, and I'm running out of time. So there you go, folks. I mean, I want you to tell me what you think about this asteroid. I mean, you got remote viewers, Farsight Institute, WebBot. You got a professor warning about some type of global coastal event, or type of tsunami, I should say. Then you got the the coronal hole stream coming in with these objects, and then now you have the professor that warned us about the California earthquake and the other Pacific large quake and plate fractures and all this stuff, and now telling me about this, and he was right before. So I want you guys to tell me what you think. So, you know, I'm going to leave it up to you like I always do. That's why I always leave links. So there you go, folks. Much love to you all, and may God bless us all.